Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, let's put something to rest once and for all. I actually found a study. We'll get back to that in a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but where we are in California, the wind's blowing like it's a freaking hurricane. It's crazy. Then people up there playing with the weather modifier needs to pump the brakes a little bit on his wind. My poor neighbors, their fences are blowing down. Aluminum's coming off the top of the roof. It's crazy. Anyways, back to Iraq here. So let's go ahead and go over the latest and the greatest, shall we? Before we get started, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, head on over to our friends at Miles Franklin. The link will be down below in the description. When you make your purchase, make sure you use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and they'll take care of you. If you have any additional questions, you can reach us over here at this phone number or over here at this particular email. For all orders over $10,000, reach out by email and we'll make sure that you get a great deal. So come on over to Miles Franklin and add to your precious metal inventory. I'm sure by now you've heard already the United States is striking more targets. It started at like 3 o'clock in the morning and has been going on ever since. So, like I was talking about earlier, what we don't want to see is things escalating. There was an emergency meeting called to figure out what it is that Iraq wants to do or needs to do to, what we hope is that the decision is not to enter into a conflict with the United States. Document 8 Iraqi banks banned from participating in the window of buying and selling foreign currencies. So 8 banks were banned from the currency auctions. An official document issued by the Central Bank of Iraq showed that 8 Iraqi banks were banned from participating in the window of selling and buying foreign currencies. The document, re-exported by the news, included a ban on banks from participating in the window of buying and selling foreign currencies and not dealing in the dollars. The 8 banks are Iraqi Investment Banks, Kurdistan's International, Islamic Bank, Union Bank of Iraq, and you can see all the names right here because I'm not even going to try to attempt to pronounce them all. So now you got 8 banks banned from participating in the currency auction. My guess is they got caught taking money over to Iran. That's usually what happens. So for those of you who don't know what the free library is, free online library, one of the largest online libraries in the world. Millions of news, trade, publications, newspapers, magazines, journals, you name it. Iraq to remove 3 zeros from the dinar. Here we go. The Iraqi Central Bank announced the completion of the plan to remove 3 zeros from the dinar. 3 zeros from the dinar. Doesn't say anything about exchange rate. Replacing current banknotes, not exchange rate. Replacing current banknotes, like I said, with new ones, because that's what you do when you do the deletion of the zeros. The bank will reprint 30 trillion dinars, $26 billion, according to Saleh, an expert in Iraqi Central Bank, in a speech with the Al-Hayat of London. Our problem lies in the timing of the currency exchange, as we need to select a suitable time for implementing the project without obstacles. The central bank planned to remove 3 zeros from the Iraqi dinar after suffering from inflation and the decline of the currency during the 90s. Due to economic sanctions, the value of the dinar decreased internationally to its current value of approximately 1,120 dinars per dollar. Yes, this article is a little old, but it makes my point. In 2003, the central bank adopted a new mechanism to maintain the dinar's exchange rate. Here they're talking about the actual exchange rate, the dinar's currency against other countries' currency. Here they are talking about the exchange rate. It created a foreign exchange auctions to sell dollars that Iraq obtained from the sale of oil in the global markets and then transfer to the bank to sell in local currencies, which helped raise the value of the dinar over the last few years to more than 2,000 points. So you got to think about when this article came out in 2011. So that's a huge jump. 2,000 points, that's a nice little increase. And I told you this is what the currency auctions are for, to help Iraq maintain a certain exchange rate. So up here, they're talking about deletion of the zeros off the banknotes, But down here, they're talking about maintaining the exchange rate through the currency auctions. So they estimated the government will exchange more than 30 trillion Iraqi dinars, or more than $26 billion. The most important change after deleting the zeros is to reduce the number of banknotes in circulation, banknotes because they redenominated, simplifying the payment system in Iraq. Some economists have warned that the process of exchanging the Iraqi currency will be rife with corruption due to the inaccurate structuring of Iraqi banks. Previous attempts to exchange the currency resulted in major corruption. That's why you had the U.S. military standing there when they finally did make the move to redenominate into a new currency. Costly to the Iraqi economy. This is why I was saying when you delete the zeros, you got to be careful not to cause inflation. However, Saleh responds that the process of changing the currency in 2004 occurred under the exceptional circumstances of the occupation, which managed by a civil American governor, and was still successful. The central bank sells through a daily auction between $150 million and $190 million because remember, you were told that these auctions were being done because they were de-dollarizing. No, this has been going on. This is 2011. This article came out. And back then, obviously, they weren't trying to de-dollarize. $1 million daily to clients of private banks and financial companies. So there you have it. Here is an article that's in the library that talks about the deletion of the zeros. Deletion of the zeros comes off of the banknotes, not the exchange rate. Down here, they're talking about protecting the exchange rate, the one where you actually change your currency for foreign currency. And they're able to maintain it through a daily public auction. The daily public auctions are to help maintain the exchange rate like I spoke about before. And I know somebody out there told you that this is their way of de-dollarizing. It is not. Anyways, I hope that clears things up because somebody said to me, Pimpy, all you're doing is reading articles within that dinar recap. How do you know they're not wrong or how do you know they're not misleading you? I know you guys think some of the news that is out there is purposely misleading you because there's stuff happening behind the scenes. Isn't that what you're told? There's nothing behind the scenes. And yeah, a lot of times some of the articles could be wrong, but not because they're trying to hide anything, because the interpretation is off. Usually what happens is people out there that are content creators will tell you, well, the news is just lying to you or they're trying to mislead you because they don't want you to know the truth. Because most likely they got caught lying to you once again, and that's their excuse for why it is the way it's written inside the article. Anyways, I look forward to hearing from you. I'll get back at you later. I'm out.